Hey folks, rinimt here, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. We are still on the Botanist quest here, and after the, 10 years later, okay, it was 2 years, moment of the last video, I have all the items on hand this time. So, call from the clouds. Good morrow to you, Arya. It does my spirit well to see you again. Inspired by your words, I've been reflecting upon the relationship between man and forest. I should like to hear your opinion on... Fufucha, I'm back! Have you given any thought to my request? Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't know you had a guest. Judging by your attire, I take it you're a botanist as well? I'm sorry, our current situation is unchanged. I'm afraid there are no botanists at present who can assist with your story. I won't make a burden of myself, promise! I just need them to answer a few questions in their spare time. What about this adventurer here? She looks like a capable sort. Arya? Well, she certainly is one of our best. First things first, allow me to introduce you to Muja Murilla, a reporter for the Raven. She is planning a series of articles for which she requests our guild's cooperation. Specifically, she would like to follow the doings of a first-rate botanist for an indefinite period of time. Alas, none among us who meets her stringent requirements can afford to engage her at present. None save for perhaps you, Arya? Oh, my salvation has come. Her name is Arya. What exciting adventures into botany will she take me on, I wonder? As to that, we have received a petition for aid from faraway Ishgard. You will recall our dear friend and colleague Rotoloin, who resides in the central highlands of Coerthas. Well, a friend of his is struggling to raise crops in the Ishgardian frontier, and he begs us to send a botanist to aid him. The Ishgardian frontier? That sounds positively wild. I can already picture the title. Foreign botanist at the frontier. Heh. I've got a good feeling about this. I'll go ahead to Rotoline's place and ask him a few questions. She certainly wastes no time. Assuming you are willing to take on this task and bear with Muja, please pay Rotoline a visit in yourself and have the particulars from him. I have no doubt that you'll gain much from the experience. For good measure, here's a letter of introduction, and in case you've forgotten, Rotoline can be found at Skyfire Locks. Good luck to you, Arya. At least unlike with Minor, she's just like, here you go. Oh wait, I'm here in the Heavensward menu, like, yeah, it's a Heavensward one, right. We're going to quit this! Right. No, it's the Realm Reborn tab. Of course it is. Oh hey, the tree for the spruce log is up, I believe. Funny. It was definitely not up last time, but it looks like it's right around that time now. I don't think it's up for much longer, but it's there. I have been expecting you, Arya. Mistress Muja has told me everything, and rather more besides. A letter of introduction, ever proper as our Fufucha. She scarcely needs one of these to vouch for your skill, my friend. As you will have been informed, the petition comes not from me, but from a friend. Bazile is his name. He's a botanist engaged in settling the Sea of Clouds. That's where your task will take you for an extended period of time. Some years ago, House Helenar established an outpost there, and they seek to make the place self-sufficient. To this end, my friend has been attempting to cultivate various crops. Alas, results have been mixed at best, and that is where you come into the picture. Now, I should like to send you along to Bazile at once, except Ishgard isn't accommodating the foreigners. We must find a way to circumvent the bureaucracy. You are a guest of House Port's haunt, you say? Well then, your entry is not an issue from the first. However, I have doubts whether Mrs. Muja will be permitted to accompany you. You needn't worry, I have ways of getting into places, and I will get into Ishgard. See if I don't. That is, well, I think. Now then, Bazile has returned to the Holy See to meet with you. If it suits, I shall let him know to look for you at the Aetheryte Plaza. At the Aetheryte Plaza. Got it. I'll see you there, Arya. Alright. Now I want the Heavensward tab. Now we want it. It should just be right there. I mean, like with all these, I haven't done these in years. So I don't actually remember where they are. Yeah, it's just right here. Cool. What took you so long? Your client's been waiting for the better part of a bell. Here's how I got into Ishgard. I shouldn't doubt. For now, let's suffice to say, anyone asks, I'm your retainer. Tis a pleasure to meet you, Arya, and your lively retainer as well. I'm Bazile. Thank you for making the long journey to Ishgard, though we still have some ways to go, to be sure. As I'm sure you've been told, I'm a botanist at Camp Cloudtop. We're heavily reliant on supplies being brought in by airship, and I'm trying to change that. Fortunately, my ventures into farming haven't yielded the results I had hoped for. And so I reached out to Rotaloin, who then reached out to your guild. I'll be turning to your abundant knowledge and skilled hands both. In case you're wondering, I haven't any work for you just yet. Today's a meet and greet, as it were. When I've got a specific request, I'll send word by way of your trusty retainer. And a trusty retainer there has never been. I shall convey all your messages without delay. I'd be much obliged, miss. Now then, I best be getting back to work. I look forward to seeing you again, most certainly at Camp Cloudtop. I'll remain here in Ishgard and await word from Bazile. Please come by whenever you can spare a moment from your busy schedule. Next botanist quest will be available from Muja Murilla upon reaching level 53. Requirements for undertaking subsequent quests can be reviewed in your journal. We should know the drill by now, right? I would hope. Onions of life bestowing. Perfect timing, Arya. Word arrived from Bazile not a moment ago. He has a task and bids you come to Camp Cloudtop. Let us go at once. Camp Cloudtop. How far into Camp Cloudtop do I have to... Okay, it's just over there. What do you mean it's... I have to zoom in on the map, right? Not back when it wasn't just a single... I guess it's not a single region for... Anyway, I'm rambling. My thanks for coming on such short notice. To begin with, I'd like to ask your advice on crops that would thrive in this environment. Right now, our principal crop is a strain of pumpkin native to these isles. With some experimentation, we've succeeded in cultivating it. Fortunately, hardly anything else grows as a viable food source. It has something to do with the ratio of wind to earth aspects of ether up here. There is a much higher concentration of the former, you see, and hardly any of the latter. Gasol greens are just about the only thing that has worked out, and those aren't the same as what we have in Corthus either. It may interest you to know that the seeds came to us from Gridania from the Botanist Guild. Rotaloin urged me to give them a try, and lo and behold, they cropped up like weeds. Strange things do happen, eh? But in the end, Gasol greens are fit only for chocobos, and what little I'm managing to grow at the moment doesn't make up for the shortfall of supplies. If we're to keep feeding the garrison, we need to find more crops that grow and set about growing them as soon as possible, or soon we'll all be upping on bird fodder. So I'd like to ask your opinion in selecting a crop. What quality is the most crucial? They're both kind of important, like cold and elevation. Hardiness cold. I see. In that case, we might try our luck with onions. Although reminds me, a hunter I spoke with recently mentioned having seen wild onions in the Ravanian forelands. Cyclops onions they're called, and I fancy our chances of cultivating them. If we succeed, they would make a welcome addition to our rations. I'd be grateful if you could gather and bring me 10 bulbs. Well, good news! I have 10 bulbs. Have you gathered the Cyclops onions that can be found growing in Ravanian forelands? Yeah. I read hinterlands at first. I thought it said hinterlands, and I'm like, hold up. Can't be hinterlands yet. My, they grow far larger than I had dared hope. My thanks are, yeah. I shall try growing them in our test plot right away. A test plot, you say? That's right, miss. Before we grow something in earnest, we need to make certain that it won't be a detriment to other crops. Though sustenance is important, so too is sustainability. If we don't think ahead, we're liable to damage the environment, and that would leave us with nothing. I see. Pioneers must be at once bold and cautious. A delicate balancing act. With that, I believe I have sufficient material from my first article. I'll go on back to Ishgard to send my notes to the chief editor. See you at the Aetheryte Plaza, Arya. Why can't we just meet here and see a clouds? That would save me so much gil and teleporting. Grumble, grumble. I think it's low enough to meet my gil threshold to not use my tickets. I should get more tickets. What do I have? I have like 600. Almost. Glad tidings, Arya. The chief editor was utterly taken by my draft, and the first installment of my series will soon grace the Raven. Oh, unless you worry, I'll make sure to withhold names and locations. It's an Ishgardian outpost, after all, and we can't have such details known to all and sundry. But have a listen to this. So was the dilemma of a suitable crop was solved, thanks to the ingenuity of one humble botanist. It shall not be long ere this azure frontier is blanketed in life-giving Cyclops onions. That's how I'm planning to close the article. I see you're not entirely convinced that the dilemma is solved. Well, it practically is. Only I can't write practically. The statement would lose something for it. As before, I'll remain Ishgard to wait word from Bazile. I look forward to your next task. And as always, I grab silver pieces. In blazing the trails, you have, as a botanist, you have learned Tree Whisper 5. 2 nations, 1 seed. I was hoping you'd come by, but Sal has another task for you. Just so you know, I won't be accompanying you from now on. While you go about your gathering, I have a mind to do some gathering of my own for information here in the Holy See. Having said that, I will require a report from you afterwards, so be sure to remember all the juicy details. Now, off you go to Camp Cloudtop. Seriously, why can't I just meet Camp Cloudtop? This is back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Heavensward choices certainly are a thing. I'm gonna say Stormblood's much better, but there are some moments where Stormblood has, you know, better choices than Heavensward. Stormblood has forced time notes, though. My thanks for your help the other day, Arya. I am pleased to report that the Cyclops onions are coming along nicely. This time, I need your help to maintain soil quality. As you know, soil gradually becomes barren with continued cultivation. In order to keep it fertile, we normally grow crops of the bean family at regular intervals. Alas, such beans as we have in Corinthus refuse to grow here. Unless we do something, I fear the soil will cease to yield crops altogether. Is there aught you can suggest? Try growing a Gridanian variety of beans? But of course, we've managed to grow Gisal greens from Gridanian seeds. Perhaps this success can be repeated with beans. Sorry to trouble you, Arya, but can you please travel to Gridania and consult Fafucha? If anyone knows a strain of beans to suit our needs, it'll be she. Oh my gosh, the running around. If it isn't the toast of the guild, I have read all about your recent exploits in the Raven. You have been away only a short while and already you've achieved so much. We all of us here are proud of you. We all of us here are very proud of you. I'm just having to think on that. Oh, embellished? I suppose that is simply the way of Musha's profession. And though her words may have been flowery, I choose to believe that they are firmly rooted in truth. In any case, all seems to be well with you, and for that I'm glad. Now then, was there something you wish to talk about? Cover crops for revitalizing soil, and those that will grow in the Sea of Clouds besides? This is a difficult order to fulfill. From my experience, I would say that the Shroud Vetch would be best suited. Even so, it is not entirely ideal. Nay, it can be crossed with a Highland strain to create what Bazile needs. Now, rather than crossing strains haphazardly, I suggest you seek the counsel of a specialist, that is, an Ishgardian native versed in the local flora. Show to him this bundle of Shroud Vetch, and he should be able to provide you with the name of a suitable match. As to where you might find such an individual, I dare say Muja will be the best person to ask. It is her business to know people, after all. Oh my gosh! Fufucha suggests you come to me? Ooh, she's a sharp one. Indeed, it is my business to know people, and I happen to know just the person you're looking for. Martineau is his name, and he's no less than the foremost herbalist in all of Ishgard. I'll arrange a meeting right away. Actually, I wonder if it's appropriate to intervene in the doings of my subject. Never mind the details. They're the bane of a good story. I'll have Martineau come and meet you at the St. Roman's Cathedral. Off you go, Arya. And we run around again. At least this was not a full teleport. And maybe we'll see Alpha. I mean, that's always a bonus, right? Maybe. You're in the room before Alpha. This is a crime. Alpha's not even here! This is even more of a crime. You are the botanist who wished to speak with me. You certainly appear capable, as your frenetic friend led me to believe. I always enjoy the chance to engage with fellow lovers of nature. And being a researcher, I welcome the insights of gatherers like your good self. But come, I am given to understand you seek advice on crossing strains of beans. I guess the last quest was too short. This one had to be longer. I've always held the botanist good in the highest regard. Seeing such fine specimens always serves to reaffirm that sentiment. As Mistress Fufucha has already concluded, the Shroud of Vetch will not prosper in the Sea of Clouds. It needs be crossed with another strain to bring out its resilience. I would recommend emerald beans, a rare strain which grows in the churning mist. For your purposes, you will need perhaps 10 handfuls. And with that, I trust you now know what is required. Should you have further questions, do not hesitate to seek me out again. Alright, and then I need to take this back to Camp Cloudtop. Miss Muja tells me you managed to get Master Martineau's advice, even though he's notoriously elusive. You truly are dedicated to our cause, my friend. And so these are emerald beans. If I understand correctly, the plan is to cross these with Shroud of Vetch. Do you have the latter as well? Marvelous! My thanks, Arya. I shall set about cross-pollinating them at once. The process will require considerable time and effort, but I'm confident that it will be worthwhile in the end. Before I forget, Miss Muja left a message for you. She bids you come and meet her at the Aetheryte Plaza in Ishgard. Of course she does, because why would she come here? That would be far too convenient. Welcome back, Arya, and good work. Not only did you help Basil solve another problem, you served as a bridge connecting the people of Gridania and Ishgard. In case you're wondering, I've already sent off the draft for the second installment in my series. It's bound to be as successful as the first. And there is not a hint of fabrication in there. Embellishments, certainly, but no fabrication. 2 nations, 1 seed. That's the title I have in mind. Simple but powerful, even if I do say so myself. Of course, my story is secondary to all your hard work, but Basil's crops are coming along well, and is in no small part due to your efforts. For his sake, please keep it up. Grab the silver pieces. In blazing new trails as a botanist, you have learned luck of the pioneer. Love for harmony. Arya, I've received word from Basil. He has 2 pieces of news to share with you. One good, one bad. To begin with the good, he succeeded in cross-pollinating the 2 varieties of beans you brought him. A new, more resilient strain is on its way. As to the bad, the vermin population has fairly exploded, most likely due to rapid reclamation, and they're threatening the crops. Unless the pests are dealt with, they'll undo all of Basil's hard work. Please hurry to Camp Cloudtop at once and see how you can be of help. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's awful, Arya, just awful. Our crops were coming along so well, but now a plague of vermin is threatening to destroy it all. An alchemical concoction would deal with them quickly enough, but it's like to harm all creatures indiscriminately. What's more, there's no telling what other effects it might have on the environment. If at all possible, I'd like to protect our crops without resorting to such extreme measures, but I don't know how to go about it. You spoke with Master Martineau before. Do you think you could seek him out again and trouble him for advice with regard to our dilemma? Oh, come on! Hi, Martineau. I have an important trip to do here. Alpha, where are you? Mer. Not by chance, no. Not here. Okay. Thinking maybe... what's his name would be her? Derek? He's not. I don't know how he wanders. Only seen like one event. You look troubled, my friend. Is something the matter? Though your friend's concern for nature is touching, extreme circumstances call for extreme measures. Were I in his shoes, I wouldn't rule out an alchemical concoction, but tell me, what are your own thoughts on this? I want to say both. I don't want to damage the environment or kill a local fauna. Don't want to damage the environment. That kind of involves the fauna too. So you're determined to place nature first. I respect that. Very well. I will share with you my knowledge. When dry distilled birch bark yields its birch bark yields a tar which possesses vermin-repelling properties. 'Tis a trait the tree developed to protect itself from pests. You would do well to gather birch logs at the same place that vermin inhabit, namely the Sea of Clouds. 10 pieces should suffice to begin with. And this goes back to Camp Clouds, huh? Back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. And back and forth, and back and forth. Hi! Again. Have you found a way to protect our crops? Yes. To think that such a method existed! I'll begin extracting tar from these logs at once. Once again, I'm in your debt. I don't know what I would have done without you, and the thought of it shames me. Here I am, professing to put nature first, and yet I was powerless in the face of this trial. When I mentioned my plight to Mistress Muja, she was very worried for me. She even offered to help in any way she could. Please pass along my thanks to her as well. Yeah, because she couldn't just come here and hang out. That would be too convenient for me. I mean, yeah, I get Gil from, doing the quest, but like, grr! So teleporting. Welcome back, Arya. Another day, another job well done. I shouldn't doubt. Oh, Basil sends his thanks, you say? Well, his passion is downright infectious, as is yours. You can't help but want to help. Unless you worry, I don't allow sentiment to color my articles. Nay, I tell it as it is, and this time it's about respecting nature. Here's a choice passage from my draft. In that moment, a warm sensation swept over me, and I knew it for pride. The pride that in this faraway land, the Gridania love for harmony has taken root. That sounds sentimental, you say, but see, I'm simply giving voice to what all Orisborn will be feeling. A small but distinct difference. At any rate, I've got another promising addition to my series, and it's all thanks to you. Keep up the good work. Where's the Gil option? These are not options. That was a lot of experience. It was a third of a level. The heck? Anyway. Seeds know no borders. Hello there, Arya. Come for a task, have you? Well, aren't we enthusiastic? Which makes me feel all the more sorry to disappoint. There's been no word from Basil, I'm afraid. Oh, speak of the devil! He's calling my link probe right now. If you'd excuse me a moment. Basil, yes, this is Muja. How fare you? What? Terrible news, Arya. Basil has gotten into trouble with the vault. It seems my articles were brought to the attention of some dignitaries, and they're taking issue with his recent ventures. I'm concerned to withhold details pertaining to security, so it's not a question of leaked intelligence at the very least. To hear Basil tell it, he's just a hapless pawn in the game between the nobles. 'Twas House Zamael that alerted the vault to his alleged misdeeds. A petty blow against House Halenart. But however it happened, Bazel is in trouble and we must help him. Could you please go to him and ask for after the details? I'll explore all possible avenues of aid in the meantime. Back to Camp Cloudtop. Because back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And back and forth and back and forth. Did I mention back and forth, by the way? I don't know if I have. My thanks for coming, Haria. To put it simply, the Vault isn't pleased with the cooperation I've received from the Botanist Guild, and now they've sent representatives to convey their displeasure. Father Aburiol and Sir Vonctural. I take you're a foreigner with whom the accused has been consorting. Botanist Basil has come to our attention that you have been using your position of privilege to sow abhorrent seeds upon Ishgardian soil. Know that your transgressions have sparked an uproar in the vault, so dismayed was Father Aburo. He was prompted to make the long journey to this outpost that he might impress upon you the graveness of the matter. Presently, there exist two varieties of foliage plants called Gisalt greens. However, only one of them is worthy of the name, which is native to Kuarthas. The other originates from the Near East, and it is a pretender. On account of the ignorance of the masses, however, it usurped the honored name of Gisal. To we proud Ishgardians it was, and shall ever be, a different plan. We know and accept no Gisal greens, save for that which the Fury has seemed to bless us. It is a question of honor, and you have been besmirched that honor by growing the foreign pretender upon Ishgardian soil. I wondered when the Ishgardian politics would enter this quest line. We've been doing so well so far. Such are the charges against you. If you would protest them, know that words alone shan't suffice. Nay, you must needs present us conclusive proof of your innocence. We shall wait yonder, but know that we'll not wait long. If you cannot produce the proof, you had best prepare yourself for a trial by combat. Trial by combat? He might as well throw me off this island right now. I was only acting in our nation's best interest. Huh? Seems I have no choice but to try and prove my innocence, but how? The seeds I used came from the Botanist Guild. Besides going there, I don't know what else to do. Could you please consult Pafucha in my stead? Of course, I can go back to Gridania again. If I can select the right category. What? I know that the Ishgardians can be hard-headed, but this beggars belief. To force their own notion of honor upon nature? Ridiculous to even begin to describe it. Well, the folly of it all notwithstanding, you'll be pleased to know that we can clear Basil's name. Truth is, the Gasol seeds we gave him are the Querthan variety. The first botanist of a few generations past brought the plants back to Gridania, and we have been cultivating them here since. That's not all. Research has proven that much of the Gasol greens presently grown in Ishgard are in fact Near Eastern. To wit, the plants under scrutiny are far closer to the true Gasol the Ishgardians so revere. So much for their accusations. Here, take this bunch of greens with you. It's the self-same as that which Basil has been cultivating, an improved strain of Kisol greens found throughout the wilds of Kuarthas. An expert would be able to identify its Kuarthan origin at a glance. The problem will be convincing the priests of this fact. You're acquainted with the herbalist Martineau? Then that should simplify matters. Suggest you harvest some Kisol greens and present them in the Great Loam strain to him for comparison. Search in relatively unbeaten parts of the Western Highlands. 'Tis in such areas that you are like to find the purest specimens. 3 bunches should suffice for your purposes. Once you have enough, pray go to Martineau and have him inspect them. Good luck to you, Arya. Because, of course, we have to go back there another time. Okay, 3rd tries the charm, right? Alpha! Excuse me, Alpha! 3rd time is not the charm, it turns out. Once again, you come to me with a troubled look. Tell me of your play, and we shall see if my knowledge may avail you. Well, these aren't Casal grains. You have done well to find these rare as they are, and you have something else to show me, you say? I have seen many a head of Gisal greens in my time. This specimen can be considered royalty among them. Why, I am thoroughly impressed, but what it is exactly you would have me do? So that is the way of it. I'm ashamed to call those zealots my countrymen, but come, let us compare the greens you brought. Though their outer leaves differ, their cores are identical in hue and structure both. There can be no doubting that these two specimens belong to the same family of foliage plants. I shall record these findings in the missive for you to use as testimony. There is no need for thanks. As a man of science, 'tis reward enough that I can do my part to prove those old fossils of the Holy See wrong. Good. It's a little bit less back and forth, right? Surely. Surely a little bit less back and forth. Have you found a way to refute their accusations against me? Please tell me you have. These appear to be Gasol greens, but it's not a variety I'm familiar with. Wherever did you get this from? Forgive me for being obtuse, but these greens you brought, I'm not quite sure how they will prove my innocence. Why can't I do it all at once? Yeah, another kind of greens and a missive? Is this truly the way of it? By the Fury, I must show these findings to Father Abirol at once. Abirol. Okay, thank you for the cutscene. All the Gasol greens found in Ishgard are the near eastern variety, you say? That is the most outrageous claim. Utterly ridiculous. What proof have you of this? My lords, please look upon these two bunches of greens. One is the Gasol accused of being foreign, and the other is the wild Kissel found in Korthus. Master Martineau, the Holy See's foremost herbalist, testifies that these two greens belong to the same family of foliage plants. 'Tis a small wonder, then, that the foreign variety has so thrived here, for it wasn't foreign at all. Nay, my lords, it was very much at home. Master Martineau further goes on to write thus: seeds are born from one end of the realm to another by all creatures great and small. No matter how tightly sealed, gates will do naught to hinder their spread. Are you ridiculing the nation's policy? I wouldn't dream of it, Sir Vanctoro. I only wish to draw your attention to a time in the past before Ishgard closed her gates to the outside world. Over a century ago, near eastern Gisal greens were brought over to Eorzea. Thanks to its hardiness, it thrived in our realm, becoming so ubiquitous that it displaced many indigenous species. Species such as the Korth and Gisal, which fairly disappeared, and indeed would have had the Botanist Guild not continued cultivating as a strain suited to cooler lands. These Kissel greens found a new home in faraway Gridania, and now they have found their way back home to Ishgard. Seas know no borders, they will sprout wheresoever the earth embraces them. In this matter, Master Martineau ends his missive. As the matter was still undecided, I thought it best to withhold this fact, but I had received the package from Mistress Fafucha of the Botanist Guild. Contained within were seeds beyond counting along with this message. May they provide for your children and theirs after them for 1,000 years to come. Never in all my years have I felt so humbled. Our own people would do well to learn from this magnanimous gesture. Father, you surely cannot mean to withdraw the accusations. The Gasol greens in question were of Quirith and Stock all along. Our accusations were unfounded from the first. The matter is settled. Botanist Basil, it seems we have been less tolerant than was warranted. Upon my word, none shall question your deeds or motives again. Pray carry on as you have in the name of our nation. Without your help, I'd most certainly be a dead man. Thank you, Arya. Thank you 1,000 times over. You've done so much for us already. I couldn't ask for any more of you. From here on, we'll endeavor to get by on our own. And who knows, if we work hard enough, one day we may even win over Sir Vancro. Now, I suspect that Miss Muja will be beside herself with worry. Please be sure to let her know all is well. Once again, thank you, Arya, for everything. Oh, come on. There had to be another teleport. And there's also no green check, which means there's another place to go. Because of course there is. Can't have anything nice, right? Oh, this happened? Would I have been there to see it all? And see, it's no borders. I reckon I have a title for the final installment. Make no mistake, this clash between religion and reason will make for a truly compelling reading. But I've got more sense and invite more controversy than I already have. The article will focus on Basil's tireless efforts and the fruit born of the cooperation between botanists. With that, everything will be wrapped up in a neat little package. Speaking of packages, whether it didn't cost an arm and a leg to send those seeds, now I've got nothing to show for my hard work. What I said just now? You mustn't tell anyone. I want to make amends for all the trouble I caused you, see, so I sent the seeds in Fufuja's name. Glad to hear that they were of some help to Basil. And with matters settled, our work here is done. You've been the best of subjects, Arya. Without a doubt, this has been the most fulfilling story I've ever written, and I couldn't have done it without you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Oh, I've left your reward in Fufuja's keeping. Please have it from her when you go to make your report, as I'm sure you will. Yeah, because I can't just turn in the quest here. You're going to make me go all the way back to Gridania one more time. Because of course. Of course. Can't have nice things. I'm glad to hear that ended well, and you will be glad to hear that Muja's latest article is the talk of the town. Inspired by the tale, many souls have come knocking upon our door. Those who harbor the dream of becoming a botanist for the first time, as well as those who had once abandoned that dream. Guild is livelier for their presence. In the midst of this activity, a peculiar missive arrived from Ishgard, thanking me and the guild for our donation. Haven't the faintest inkling what this is about. An altruistic reporter. A reporter? Oh, I see. It appears that even the most uninhibited among us may have a bashful side. And that reminds me, I have something for you. Your reward from Musha, doubtless hard-earned, and 'tis plain from your bearing that you've grown much for your experience. Promise me that you will continue employing your knowledge and skills in service to man and nature both. Fine, I'll take that materia. This concludes the botanist quest for Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. In order to undertake the next series of quests, you must first meet the following requirements. You must have completed the main scenario quest, The Far Edge of Fate. Once you have done so, the next botanist quest will be available from Fufuja. I got less experience for that than I got for the quest before. Make it make sense. Whatever. Well, that wraps up the botanist quest for Heavensward. So much back and forth. Oh my gosh. It does also unfortunately mean that wraps up the ones I can buy market board for botanists as well, because Stormblood makes you gather them. Yay. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider tossing a like, comment, subscribe, maybe click the bell for notifications. Also be sure to check out the description below. Various links, social media, Discord. Come hang out, get notifications there as well. And until next time, this is rinimt signing out. Bye!